What's up guys, Phil here from RedEye Gaming, and I'm bringing you a first impressions video of Stock Car Extreme Beta for the V8 supercars. And this is in beta, so there are some quirks, as you're about to see on my right hand side. I don't know how to not make that car appear as an AI. I tried to lower the car's number, AI drivers, to the point where I thought they wouldn't select that car, but it still did. Anyway, not a big deal, everything's fine. And the AI says no quarter shall be given. So first impressions, this car feels like what I would imagine a V8 supercar would feel like. They're about 3,000 pounds and have 650 horsepower, so they're like a tank. You really need to, from what I've seen, you really need to emphasize the slow in, fast out. If you try to be really late on the brakes and you go into a corner too fast, you're just not going to turn. It's just not going to turn for you. But I think that's somewhat realistic. I think that's how these cars are in real life. Haven't really seen much of these cars in real life, being that I live in America and there's about zero coverage of these cars. Have watched some videos on YouTube, some really good racing in the real V8 supercars in real life. Wish there was more coverage here in America, but that's another issue. Anyway, so this is the first race I did here. I don't know how to say this track's name. I think it's Guyana, but I'm sorry, that's probably just butchered terribly. I'm sorry, I don't speak Portuguese. Okay, so other first impressions, it's a little odd driving a right-hand drive car just because I don't do it that often, so it's just a little adjustment. It's not terrible, just a little tiny adjustment. It is easy to lock the brakes if you're not used to kind of letting go of the brake as you decelerate, because you're losing downforce. It is pretty easy to lock the brakes. Something I managed to do quite a bit in this video, as you'll see later on. The other thing, I would say this car is very comparative to a heavier, more powerful version of the Roof Cup from iRacing. That's how I would compare it, and the AI just says, get out the way, you're going slow! But yeah, I would definitely say it's kind of just a bigger, badder version of a Roof Cup car, somewhat similar to it. I mean, it's not a rear engine car like the Roof Cup, but it's a front engine, but it has similar characteristics in that you really need to emphasize the slow in, fast out, because you can't overdrive into the entry of the corner and make it work. It just doesn't work. Other things I would say are the sounds are absolutely awesome. I'm pretty sure they're pretty spot on. I watched some videos the other day of some of the onboards from the 2015 V8 supercars, which I think this is supposed to be a 2015. I don't really know what year spec they are. But yeah, the sounds are absolutely amazing, so I'm just going to let you guys listen to those for a lap or two. So yes, those sounds are just absolutely great. They sound great. Other thing I want to talk about is that Reiza, the company that makes this game, is still doing their sim racing bonanza. If you guys didn't know that, I will be linking the description to it. They are trying to crowdfund a bunch of updates. As of this time, they were over the 80%, which means that they will be getting DK2 support, as well as tires will have dirt and you can flat spot them, and the track will be dynamic, meaning it will rubber in and marbles will be offline. I'm guessing similar to what iRacing is trying to develop, as well as rFactor 2 already has with its Railroad. I'm super excited for that. The Railroad sounds so great, and Reiza always delivers top quality content when they do things, so I cannot wait for that. And oh, did I mention at 70%, which was obviously reached because they were over 80, they're adding the Formula V10 and the Super Trucks as well. There is a bunch of content coming now that they've gotten over 80%. All of it is explained there on the page. I believe you have to go to the updates part of the page to see what comes for what percentages, but those are just some of the highlights that I know. Obviously this car is in beta, but it will be in a further update for the game. If you are a backer, you can get the beta version. If not, it is not in the actual Stock Car Extreme game yet. So, you guys really should go fund this. They are an incredible developer. I've played this game for a long time now, and they really, like, if there's one developer who deserves to be crowdfunded because they always deliver, it is Reiza. Everything they do is amazing. The other thing is I'm going to give away a copy of Stock Car Extreme. Now, no, you won't be able to play the beta versions of things like this, but everything will be coming to the game. Leave a comment below if you want a chance to win that version of Stock Car Extreme. I will probably be deciding by Friday who will win. In the comment, explain like what type of racing you're into, you know, how you got into sim racing, you know, what sims you play right now, and I will give away a copy of Stock Car Extreme. Also, it's a Steam copy of Stock Car Extreme, so please let me get your Steam name so I can add you and send you the key in a message. So it's also worth mentioning that the Montreal modern day track, as they already have a 1988 version of the track in the game, it's also worth mentioning that the modern day has been added with this beta. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube that show it. It looks great. I just didn't feel like these cars really fit a Grand Prix track, although I think they do race at Albert Park, but that's even kind of a street circuit. Anyway, not the point. I felt like they didn't really fit too well there, and there's already videos of them at Montreal, so I just decided to pick one of these other tracks. Now, to compare these, I want to compare these because they're definitely comparable to the Brazilian stock cars, which are already in this game, which was the actual main reason this game was made. It used to be called Game Stock Car. They are comparable, they just feel heavier, and I feel like they kind of penalize you more for trying to overdrive, where in the stock cars, I think maybe it might be the downforce. I'm not sure if it's the downforce or where, but it seems like these cars, they might just be heavier as well. I don't know how much a Brazilian stock car weighs. They're similar, but I would definitely say these Super V8s are harder to drive. You really have to be precise and really modulate both the brake and throttle. As you're turning in, you really need to get the hold of trail braking into the corners, because it will help you get your turn in, as well as not unsettle the car, where if you just jump off the brake, you're probably going to understeer and miss the corner. And coming out of corners, now I did have the default setup on, but you will see coming out of corners you have to modulate the throttle well, or you'll spin, or not even just spin, but if you give it too much gas too early, these cars have enough power that they will just run right off the course. They just decide that they are no longer turning, they are going straight. But these cars just, they're really fun. I was hoping to get a better race with the AI here. I just hadn't ever raced them. This is my first race here, so unfortunately I was a little bit too fast for them, but I'm sure I'm not very fast, because I think it's the default setting of like 95% AI, which normally I run like 100 to 105, so I probably should have just turned it up. But seeing that I have never driven a V8 supercar, I didn't know what to expect. But what can I say? They are fun. They are a lot of fun. One question I do want to pose to people who maybe follow the actual series, I was looking up some pedal cams, and it definitely seems that the cars that have a sequential shifter, but they also, some guys it seems like heel and toe, and some seem to left foot brake. I don't know what is, the preferred method in these cars. Are they usually heel and toe, or do they usually just left foot brake and blip for their downshifts without the clutch? These cars are also, they seem like kind of a breath of fresh air, as right now in sim racing it seems everybody is running GT3 cars, which I have nothing against GT3 cars. They are what they are. It's just they feel like rolling computers, and like a car like this feels more, I guess, natural, because there isn't traction control, there isn't ABS. Like I guess you could almost at this point say old school, because it seems like, a lot of cars, now do have the traction control and ABS, even in race cars, which is odd sometimes. But it is what it is. It's how motorsports is now. It's there for the drivers to go faster, so that is what it is. But yeah, I mean, these cars, it is kind of just nice to play almost, I would say, like an authentic race car. It just, you can lock the brakes, you can spin the wheels up coming out of a corner, and you have to actually modulate that with the brake and throttle, not with some computer doing it for you, which feels really, really awesome, actually. Okay, guys, pretty much going to be the end of the commentary for this video. Remember, if you want to win that Steam copy of Stock Car Extreme, leave a comment below with your Steam name and why you should win it, what kind of games and sims you play, and why you think you'll enjoy it the most. Also, let me know about the heel and toe versus left foot braking in these cars. What is actually done the most in the real series. How these cars are actually driven. Other than that, I got 1 minute left here in the race. I think it's maybe 1 or 2 laps. You guys can just enjoy the noise of these cars. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.